So let's take a look at the ACS Geolocation Map for ACS Commons. Do note that this feature is only available for AEM 6.2. So this feature reads the EXIF GPS latitude and GPS longitude metadata fields from the assets metadata node and renders a nice map and actually plots the location of that latitude and longitude coordinate on said map. In ACS AEM Commons 3.2.0, this became a bit easier to enable. There's only a few things we need to do. The first is we have to make sure that we have ACS AEM Commons 3.2.0 or greater installed on our AEM 6.2 instance. So as we can see here, I have the latest 3.4.0 installed. Next thing we want to do is ensure that we have the custom component activator list servlet enabled. If you're delivering this as part of a project, you'll want to ensure that it has a Sling OSGI config node in your project under the config folder or the config.author folder. For this example, we'll simply go and enable it via the Felix console. To do this, we can jump over to our AEM instances system console bundles, go to OSGI, configuration, scroll down and we'll see we have custom DAM component list servlet. Let's click on that. And here's our configuration. What this does is it binds the metadata schema fields by property name to a particular field implementation. So for instance, left of the equal sign, we have location, all lowercase. So this is going to be the metadata property name for our metadata schema field. And to the right of the equal sign, we have the custom implementation for that field. And in this case, this is what is going to render our leaflet map. So we can see that it's not currently enabled because we don't have any bound configurations. We can simply click Save here to enable this. Once we do that, we'll get our checkbox showing that we have a safe configuration, and we should be good to go. The last step we need to do is we have to create a new field in our metadata schema. And the key piece here is we need to have the property name be location, all lowercase, to match the OSGI config we just looked at. So let's go ahead and do that. We can go to Tools, Assets, Metadata Schemas. I'll edit my default schema. I'll go to the Advanced tab and just drag in a single line text field. We can give this field a label, I'll just call it location. And then again, the important part is this property name must be location to map our OSGI configuration. We'll disable this per the documentation, click Done. And now once we go to one of our assets that has properly formatted GPS latitude and longitude data, we should see our map show up. So I have a asset here that I've added data to. Let me go to the Advanced tab. And as you can see here, my map is showing up. It is worth noting that if your map does not show up, if this area is simply blank, it's almost certainly because you have not activated this component properly, or your data on the metadata node is not in the proper format. So it must be an integer, no space, comma, an integer dot, another integer, and then no space N or E or W or S for north, east, west, south. Again, make sure that your data is in this format. We can take a look at mine. I have 7, 5.1, capital N, no spaces at all, and similar for our longitude. Hope this helps.